Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Vegan View. Today we're going to be talking about the egg shortage because I don't know if you guys know or you guys at home know, but apparently there's a huge egg shortage. Something around 43 million birds got a bird flu and therefore resulted in an egg shortage, which is kind of taking the world by storm. People are very upset about their eggs.
I feel so bad
Which
for them.
is so crazy because they're so upset about their eggs, but is there any outrage about the birds that provide their eggs?
Right, and the birds that died.
No, see, that's the thing. I haven't heard a single mention about that. All I hear is egg shortage, egg shortage, egg shortage. Almost like it's like furniture at IKEA that's out of stock or something.
Right, yeah.
Like it's not even,
or toilet
they're
paper.
not even talking about why the egg shortage is happening, which is illness that these birds have come down with that resulted in their death, their untimely death.
An illness that they probably wouldn't have had if they were
just
treated
properly.
Yeah, and in their just natural environment.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, getting to that conclusion requires critical thinking skills. So,
Well, let's unpack this.
Yes.
Why are people obsessed with eggs? Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Because from what I hear, they don't taste like anything. They don't taste like anything.
Okay, you
They don't
never
taste
ate
good.
eggs.
I never liked eggs.
Yeah.
I always felt like they were
you just knew.
disgusting. I was just like, that don't taste good.
Which, if I had $1 for every time I came across a TikTok where someone was like, oh, mid eating a egg sandwich and realizing that it tastes like eggs and they're like disgusted. And you're like,
What do
why
you
are
think
you
it was?
forcing
Yeah.
yourself to eat it that
I've
way?
Yeah.
seen those videos like related to chicken also and
Yeah.
eggs, and they're like reacting to it, and
Yeah.
they're like, when your egg starts to taste a whole lot like egg, or when your chicken starts to taste a whole lot like chicken, and then they put it down, and I'm like, well, don't
What do
waste
you think
it.
it
Might
is?
as well
Right.
finish it at this point. But it's
Yeah.
like, what do you think it is?
You know those like
Yeah.
KFC like lawsuits that they got a while ago where there was like a whole a chicken, like, well, not leg, but like the feet.
Yeah.
And this woman found it. She was so offended. It's like, well, you are eating a body part, so you're going to find some
There
body
was a
parts
whole-
in your body, in your
And the
fried
most
body parts.
outrage, well, you're just eating another different part.
Yeah.
Your
Also-
body parts.
Right. It's
And
just
it just goes back to how people are conditioned. Shout out to my dad, because I think this egg shortage, he wasn't a huge egg eater, but he told me, like, ever since he was a kid, every time he's like cooked eggs, he always felt like it smelled like feathers. He could just smell the feathers. And because of this egg shortage, I think it's got him really thinking, like, what do we even need eggs for? And he was telling me, like, you know, when you bake something, you're just using it for like fluffiness or to, you know, make the ingredients do whatever. And he's like, I just went and got Bob's Red Mill egg
replacer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it
it's-
works like a charm.
Yeah,
So
it works
simple.
like a charm. And like,
Yeah.
people don't realize you don't need eggs for
Yeah.
any reason.
Yeah. It's inconsistent. So like some eggs taste like off, and I mean, I shouldn't even say off, because what we have to do is really reframe like what we know eggs to be, which they are a chicken's menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
Like that is what they are. So of course they're not going to taste consistently the same.
Right.
And it's kind of weird when you think about it that certain like farms have like consistently like golden yellow oak like yolk eggs.
Yeah.
Like,
What are
that's
they putting into
weird.
those
Also-
chickens
also-
to
Yeah.
create that?
Something
Exactly.
I never understood is, why does the color matter? Like, some colored
Yes.
eggs are like more expensive than others. Like, why does the color on the outside?
Because they want to make it look more
Yeah.
appealing. It's
Yeah.
the same thing
It's
as like
all about
meat.
money, baby.
Yeah.
They're not
So
eggs aren't in
weird.
the grocery store because they're so good for you, and they want people to have chicken eggs because they want them
Yeah.
to live healthy and strong. No, it's a money business. Eggs
Yeah.
are easy to produce.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're
Yeah.
easy to produce.
Yeah.
They're very high in cholesterol, which means that you're going to need to go to a doctor, which means you're going to be dependent on medication, and then the cycle continues and you're sick, et cetera, et cetera.
And then the whole what is it called? Salmonella.
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 Like, maybe it's good there's an egg shortage, and maybe just stop eating eggs. You won't get salmonella.
No, they can't handle it. That's too much to ask.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in the 90s. We all did. But, like, you remember when there was this whole thing like, oh, the egg yolk is bad. You can only eat egg whites. And people were, like, taking the yolk out and eating the egg whites. And it's just so weird when you think about it that we were, like, dissecting a chicken's menstrual cycle to be healthier.
Yeah.
Just to hate it.
What about the people who argue that they have chickens at home and the chickens just lay the eggs, you know, all the time, and there's just, you know, they don't want them to go to waste.
That's great for them, but that's not sustainable, and that's not the reality for, like, the general public. And like, okay, that's great for you, whatever. Like, I don't know, do your thing, I guess. But, like,
it's weird.
It's not an argument against eggs and how they're produced, like, for the general public. We don't all have, like, a farm with, like, 5 chickens and they lay their eggs and we go out with our basket and pick the eggs and have them for breakfast. You know, that's not a reality for everybody. So that is not an argument against the mass production of eggs. It's just not.
We just don't do that with any other animal. Like, people, I mean, I guess if you want to, like, not fix your dog and then, like, eat their menstrual cycle with a spoon, like, go
I just don't understand taking something from an animal that comes out of them, that belongs to them, that is from them. Like, why are we taking something from them?
Like, who decided that, right? Who was the first person that saw something, like, big come out of a chicken's ass? And was like,
let me crack that open.
I wonder what that tastes like.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I know it was a guy. Who was this guy?
Of course it was a man.
Who was it?
It's always a man.
Maybe there was a time and place where it was necessary. Sure.
Right.
Yeah, back in the day.
Now.
Desperation.
And, like, the thing is that I want to know who's marketing, like, who is eggs marketer, because they're really, like, doing something, because people are paying, like, $16 for cartons of eggs. They're, like, going to farmers markets and trying to hunt down,
I think
like,
it's a scarcity mentality. I think it's scarcity.
Just, like, generational knowledge, I feel like.
Or humans are so, like, a lot of us are not very smart. Do you guys remember the toilet paper thing that happened in 2020?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I mean, this is not surprising to me. This actually, like, falls in line with the way we behave, which is, like, so embarrassing. You could just go without eggs, or you could, you know, think a little bit further into it and be like, like Hannah said, why is there an egg shortage? Because how many chickens had to be killed because of what? You know, like, think about it for a second.
Wow.
Yeah, but scarcity mentality. People go out and they buy something in large quantity that they think is going to run out, so they feel like they need to get it. And, like, don't they expire?
They
doesn't seem like a good
why
plan.
are you obsessed with eggs? But I think it goes back to people just don't know, and they're just doing what they're used to. Like, you made a good point the other day. Like, people go to the grocery store and they just grab the staples that they think they need, that has been passed down to them from generation to generation. Mm-hmm. So I don't blame them, but at a certain point, we all just need to wake up. And start thinking where our food comes from. Exactly. That egg came from somewhere. And then you're making eggs, and it's like multiple eggs from all different types of chickens. You don't even know where, who, what. It's not even just like one chicken from what, you know? Like,
I do feel like we've been brainwashed to think that they're healthy, though. I do think people genuinely think that if they're starting their day with an egg, that they're getting protein, they're getting this, they're getting that.
God, the obsession with protein. I'm so exhausted.
It's like a nutrient dense thing that people associate with, like, being healthy. And, like, anything that's nutrient dense is going to be healthy. I mean, like, a piece of shit is also going to be nutrient dense. It has, like, all the food that the dog or the cat or that you ate, like, it's going to be nutrient dense. If we're actually looking about the terms and what they actually mean, like, by that logic, you know,
that's what they try to say is eggs are full of this and that.
Nutrient dense.
Don't chickens eat eggs? Don't they?
They eat their own eggs.
So maybe those nutrients are for them.
So I remember hearing a long time ago, I don't know if this is still, like, real news, because we've had so many administrations now and, you know, things change all the time, but I remember hearing, like, 10 years ago that they weren't allowed to say in egg marketing that eggs were healthy, because that was technically not true. And, like, to, you know, say that something is healthy, there needs to be a lot of, like, disclaimers and blah 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 blah. So everything just said nutrient full or nutrient dense or has a lot of nutrients.
Nutritious.
Exactly, nutritious, because then it's like, okay, well, what is nutritious? Just nutrients, and, like, everything has a nutrient. Like, an Oreo has a nutrient. It's got, like, some vitamins in it because of the things they use. So, you know, so it's a very blanket term to hide just anything.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean anything.
And I think most people just don't realize that. Like,
Yeah.
we've been tricked so much about marketing and just like
I would
all that.
love to have like a marketing expert on the show, like a greenwashing person that could come and tell us all the tricks.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
If
That
you
would
want
be
that
amazing.
person and you want to come on the show, we would love to hear
Come
from
on.
you.
That would be
Tell
amazing.
us.
Yeah.
But I do have compassion for people like relearning how to eat is very difficult. Like I remember when I went vegan a long time ago, and like Joy mentioned, like we talked about going to the grocery store and you're like on autopilot, you have your aisles you hit, you have your staples that you buy, and it takes effort to steer away from that and be like, okay, so I want to try these things, and then you have to research them and look into them and then try them, and then you're not sure if you're gonna like them. So I do understand that it takes effort, but sometimes for the greater good of the earth and for animals, we have to make a little bit of effort. So just try, just like hit another aisle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially now in the age of misinformation, I think there's so many, you'll see one study or one person say like, oh, this is really good for you because of X, Y, and Z. And then someone else in another study, another magazine, Men's Health, Women's Health will be like, actually, this is bad for you because blah, 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 blah. So it's a lot of conflicting information. I think people are like rightfully confused. I'm confused a lot of time. I'm like, wait, so are blueberries good or are they poisonous? Like, are they gonna kill me?
It is making me have like a lot of compassion because obviously we've been vegan for a long time and we live in LA, and you know, like naturally this is just how we came about veganism, like seeing a documentary or encountering someone. And I understand like not everyone has had that. So what would you guys say to like I'm from Detroit and I'm thinking about like my family there who's like relied on eggs as, you know, food, you know, if you have a family to feed and you're on welfare or something.
It's convenient is what I hear a lot.
What can we tell them like to help them make better changes and like make replacements moving forward?
Yeah. I mean, there is, of course, egg replacers. Like Just Egg actually had a really funny ad that I did want to mention where they said, you know, we don't have the bird flu. Come on in.
There's no shortage.
There's no shortage. Our egg doesn't have the flu, you know.
I love that.
And I thought that was really clever. But, you know, that is a more pricey product, so it's not obtainable for everybody. So I feel like we don't have to like think so black and white, like if I can't have eggs I must have another egg replacer. Like there's so many great ways to eat like high protein, like delicious meals,
breakfasts
without
egg.
Like
tofu is still some of
the
cheapest things
to
get out there.
Yeah,
like even
like
the most
$1.99.
Even the most like expensive, fancy, like everything like picked from the Himalayas. Tofu is still like $3.50.
Yeah,
that's like you know the super expensive one. Then you'll see tofu like 99 cents for a block. It's so cheap and so much comes out of it. When I buy just tofu, I can make so much tofu scramble, or I can make like so much like and really anything like a quiche. It's so versatile. It doesn't taste like anything, which I promise works in your favor because then you can season it however you want.
Like if you love having scrambled eggs every morning, get a block of tofu, like she said, $1.29, and scramble it up with some turmeric and some onions and some bell peppers, just like how you like to make your scrambled eggs. And I guarantee you it's going to taste amazing.
Add some veggies to that and suddenly you have like this much scrambled egg.
Add
to share
chickpeas even. Like that's another thing that I've done before is like mash up chickpeas and put that in there with the tofu scramble. And then you have like talk about protein. I don't think you're getting that much protein from your eggs. And that's so cheap because the tofu is $1.99. The canned chickpeas are less than that even.
There's no cholesterol in tofu. If you can't eat soy, then you could do just egg.
Just egg, mung
and
beans.
then if you don't have access to Just Egg or you can't get Just Egg, don't feel like you have to, like Candace said, replace egg. Like maybe you have a different breakfast. Maybe you try new smoothie recipes or, you know, some breakfast potatoes or, you know, avocado toast or, you know, scramble up some mushrooms and put that on on your bread. Like, you know, there's so many other things that you can do.
Scramble.
Just challenge yourself to be a little more creative and you'll probably enjoy breakfast more, honestly. I think about when I used to eat eggs every day for breakfast. It just feel like it was so boring.
Just
and
like autopilot.
Like the same old.
Food is a lot more exciting when you can step out of the box and really experiment with different vegetables that you wouldn't normally experiment with or use new seasonings to give something flavors to. I've like become so much more of a foodie being vegan than I was before. Not to say that I didn't like food. I loved food. I always have. But like I wasn't as excited as I am now.
Totally.
I think for me, obviously, I can't speak on what it's like to live in those areas where, you don't have access to those things. I've been super privileged. I've lived in cities that are like you have access to everything that you would ever want. But I fully believe that our money, it's the one thing that speaks the loudest. It is our voice, essentially, to get people to listen. So if you go to your local grocery store, just mention Just Egg. Just be like, hey, like, what about Just Egg? Have you heard about Just Egg? I'd love if you guys would get that. Because then, like, maybe that manager will listen to you one day and, like, order some Just Egg. And then you'll be there, you'll buy it, your friends will buy it. And then they'll see that people are buying it and it's benefiting them. I just think that taking the time to, like, ask for these things every time. You're going to have to go to the grocery store, right? So every time you go to your grocery store, mention it to somebody and ask for those things.
And I feel like we just get so comfortable, like when you're hustling, and this is like for all those people, like when you're hustling and you're just trying to survive, like I think we just get very robotic in what we eat and in what we do. And if you would just take time to really think about what you're consuming and you're putting in your body and also how it's affecting animals and the environment, like take care of yourself and take care of this planet and really start thinking about what you're putting into your body. Like start making little changes. People love to say like, oh, I don't eat eggs, like I haven't eaten eggs in so long, or I haven't drank milk in so long. If you're still consuming something that has eggs in it, like a cake or a cookie or something like that, you're still consuming eggs. Maybe you're not eating it straight out the crack, but but you're still consuming eggs. So don't think just because you're not eating a fresh egg, you're not still consuming eggs. There's plenty of eggs and baked goods. And the thing is, the wonderful thing about nature gave us everything we need. You can do egg replacements with flax seeds, chia seeds, applesauce, banana, egg replacement, Just Egg. There's so many replacements.
It's true.
So don't be discouraged. You do not need eggs for anything, for nothing.
Well, you guys comment your favorite breakfast that you eat that does not have eggs in it down below. Let's get some ideas flowing.
Build some community.
I would love to hear from people who maybe don't have access to Just Egg and don't buy tofu. Like, what does your kitchen look like? And if you're vegan, obviously. Like, what inspire us and enlighten us.
And if you feel held back from, like, giving up eggs, like, let us know in the comments so we can help you with that.
I love
and
that.
I'm super curious. I would love to hear if you have asked your local grocery store for alternatives and has it worked for you, or what did they reply with? I really genuinely want to know.
Definitely give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to our channel before you leave. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Join our Facebook group, and we'll see you next week for another episode of The Vegan View.
Bye!